Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys, and today I wanted to do an energy check-in with it being the first day that Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury retrograde can bring up a lot of fear for people, and over the last couple years I have learned how to transform that energy from fear into power and action. It's not a time I fear anymore. It's one of those things that teaches us to prepare, to plan, to build structure and order. And we have to remember that resistance creates more resistance. So when we put this resistant energy out there for, let's say, the Mercury going into retrograde, because it stirs up a lot of communication issues, it stirs up a lot of electronic stuff, it stirs up a lot of electronics, communication, and travel. So, we're at a busy time right now, and it can really create this sunken feeling, especially here in New England. It seems like in the later part of the year and early part of the new year, that seems like whenever Mercury goes retrograde, we have a storm here in New England. And last night we kind of had a storm. Things have stabilized now. And so for me, my instant part was to resist it. And then I kind of leaned back out of that energy and kind of embraced it. So snow in the Native American culture, I was taught, they would call it mana, which is food. And it's nourishment for the body, right? So, because what will happen is that snow settles into the earth, and then they have the water for a beautiful, bountiful harvest come spring. So when I lean back out of that energy of resistance and I'm able to go into that space of seeing that this is nourishment and, it gives me an opportunity to kind of hibernate and go within, I'm no longer afraid of that. Like I said, that resistance. I will be traveling through Mercury retrograde. I will be signing contracts with Mercury retrograde. I will be launching new projects during Mercury retrograde. And my instant thing is like, okay, these are the things that I've been kind of procrastinating on, and now is the time to clear it out. So if you've been, putting that car problem off, guess what? It's going to come to surface. If you've been putting off that bill, guess what? It's going to come to surface. It's not for you to resist, but it's to embrace the energy and saying, thank you, Mercury, for showing me where I need to direct my energy. So I hope that helps. And I have some cards that I've pulled, and I'm just going to kind of go in and I connected with the energy of Mercury before I started the reading. And then also I connected with Creator and the universal energy, the Christ conscious energy for messages for this retrograde for us that can bring us comfort. So I'm going to start with my angel therapy cards with Doreen Virtue. Let me go right to this one. The first card I get is parents. So it says, the divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. All right, friends, so Thanksgiving is on the way, and it is going to be Thanksgiving when during Mercury retrograde. And so this is saying, like, a lot of times the family stuff can bring up issues for people or dread. It can bring up this feeling of disempowerment, like I need to show up and I need to do that. And so I feel like this card is reminding you that your parents are doing or have done the best that they could to the best of their ability. Because I can tell you, most people, you don't know until you know, and then when you know, you do better. So Mercury, is teaching us to embrace, instead of resisting the energy of gathering with family, instead of resisting that energy of drudging up all this past stuff, embrace it. It says the angels are helping you heal from the pain associated with your mother and father. So if this is coming up through Thanksgiving, through gratitude, remember, the more light you take in, the more shadow stuff comes up to be cleared. And that's the beautiful part of the yin yang with ascension. So here we are in this space. Yeah, parent stuff may come up. I hate this. I hate that. I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with that. And I feel like this card is saying, hey, listen, pull out, lean back out of the energy if it's creating resistance, breathe through it, and send the angels ahead. Raphael is really great to send ahead to your home or, wherever you're going for the holiday, and ask him to kind kind of clear the energy and send his emerald green light ahead, send Michael, ahead for you to clear the way, and just lean into the energy and become the observer instead of going in and feeling like you got to fix and be the problem solver and neutralize everything and be the responsible one. I feel like this is saying lean back out of the energy and show up and be the observer. I bet you'll get more information from it. All right, so let's pull daily guidance from the angels. So focus on service. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. This stream continuously feeds everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in this stream of giving and receiving in every situation in all that you do. So again, this is the aspect of giving and receiving. I can tell you with Mercury retrograde, when you're giving too much, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the resistance come up in your body. So yesterday I was stuck in a little bit of traffic and I had a photo shoot to get to for my new website that's being built, and I could feel the resistance showing up in my body with the traffic and needing to get somewhere. And I can tell you, friends, I refused to fight the resistance. I leaned out of it. I turned on some beautiful angelic music, and I just breathed through the experience. And I can tell you, friends, I got there at 5:30 on the dot. And it was funny because my GPS system was up, and it went off. I could still hear the directions, but it went off, so I would no longer look at the time. And I kind of laughed. Instead of getting impatient with it, I just said, thank you, angels, for covering up that time so that I don't obsess about it. And I pulled out and leaned back, and I'll tell you, friends, it's so much easier to lean back and really breathe into that energy and understand what that resistance is. So this is saying throughout Mercury retrograde, focus on service. Disconnect from everybody else's problems and difficulties, the drama and people sucking you in. Focus on service. And the key word I feel right here is your soul desires only to joyfully serve. So if things aren't bringing you joy and happiness, pull out of it, lean out of that sense, and call in the divine, call in the creator, and ask for his assistance. So this is going to be a great Mercury retrograde for you to really implement those projects and get to work on the things that you've been wanting to do. Let's pull a unicorn card. Best friends. Oh, I pulled two. Oh, and forgive. So true friends stick together no matter what. So I think this goes along with the relationship stuff with the parents that came up earlier, and forgiveness. I've been following this beautiful soul. Her name is Anya Grace, and I've been doing these beautiful activations. And one of the things that she reminded me of was that saying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." And this is kind of that part of forgiveness. Maybe this is a time for you to really go in and saying, okay, is my hate or difficulty or challenge for this person, is my control and not inability to control these people, places, things, and ideas in my life creating this resentment and anger? Can I forgive myself and my role in these aspects and these projects? It's a beautiful time, especially as we work into that space of gratitude. And remember, as we're in that space of gratitude and wanting to bring in more light, more of the experiences that we had that have created resistance are going to come up. So how can you forgive? How can you forgive yourself and others? And really lean into those best friend energies and the people that bring you joy. Best friend doesn't always have to be another human. I can tell you, the angels and God and Jesus for me are my absolute best friends. They have my back. They have my best interest. And again, this is true friends stick together no matter what. So maybe you've, with everything that's been going on in your life, maybe you've pulled away from some friendships that were really valuable to you. And maybe, it's time to reach out. And again, if there was maybe some challenges or difficulties in those situations, again, adopting that prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I do that a lot with my inner child. She's another person that I've had to befriend because I've adopted the responsibility energy for so long that I've ignored her. So, I've kind of befriended that. Maybe it's your soul. Maybe it's the inner child within you. Maybe it's the business person in you. Maybe it's the lover, or even the divine feminine or divine masculine, whatever those aspects are. Connecting with those. And then finally, serenity. I feel like as we follow this process, as we lean into this energy in this space, we will have serenity. All right, friends, so that is my check-in for Mercury retrograde. I encourage you to pause for a moment, take in what resonates, check back with this reading often, and make sure that you're on track. So I wish you a beautiful retrograde, and connect with me on Sunday for our weekly reading. Bye, friends. I send you love with heavenly hugs.